Plantains that are cooked medium well are processed to make plantain flour. Traditionally, plantain flour does not contain gluten and has a very high starch content, which can be used as gluten-free flour substitute. Many countries in Africa and South America have gradually begun large-scale industrial manufacturing of banana powder in recent years. Did you know that banana powder in baby formula was being used since the very early 1900s as a method of keeping babies healthy? The United Fruit Company began to produce a product named Melzo during the 1930s, in which banana powder was the main ingredient. Because of the useful properties of banana powder, Melzo was marketed as a health food for children and old folks, as a corrective for certain indigestions, and as a revitalizer for all who are sluggish mentally or physically. Choose several bananas to eliminate insect bites, tissue damage, and overripe bananas. Then, the qualified raw materials are classified according to their maturity so that the quality of the finished products is uniform. Place bananas in hot water and cook for 4 to 7 minutes. After removing them, use cold water to cool to room temperature. Peel the banana by hand and use a stainless steel path to remove the rotten parts of the pulp, discoloration spots, and unpeeled tendons on the surface of the pulp, and then slice the banana into 2 to 3 millimeter slices. The sliced banana is then immersed in a sodium bisulfite and citric acid solution and soaks for 5 to 10 minutes to prevent enzymatic browning, which would turn flesh from light yellow to black. The air drying process removes the moisture on the banana slices, thereby shortening the drying time and reducing the energy consumption during drying. Bananas are rich in sugar. During the drying process, if the temperature is too high, such as 80 degrees Celsius, sugar scorching will occur. If the temperature is too low, the baking time will be too long, neither of which meets the requirements. Therefore, the drying temperature should be controlled at 40 to 65 degrees Celsius. The moisture content of the finished product is required to be less than 13%. Did you know in 1984, scientists from India were able to extract part of the anti-ulcer compounds found in banana powder, which ended up creating a certain type of powder that was 300 times more active in preventing ulcers in the stomach? The banana powder was later found to increase cell growth, which allowed more rapid healing of the area where ulcers had previously occurred. Banana powder is a major source of carbohydrates and calories. While it is generally low as a source of protein, the beneficial ingredients of the powder are still markedly superior to that of other fruits. The powder has also been found to be useful as a general treatment for indigestion. Onto the drying process. Dry plantain chips are ground in a grinding machine, and once in powder form, it is then passed through this net where it goes through a conduct and it comes out as flour. The flour is then transferred to sacks where it is stored ready for the coction process, where the flour is put into a sterilizer and it must be at a temperature of 75 degrees Celsius. It remains at this temperature for 10 minutes where it awaits so that the temperature can rise and thus reduce the microbe charge. It is then poured out and put into sacks once more. It advances to a cold room where it will stay for a day. The sacks are then sealed and labeled to the according batch. Finally, it goes to storage where it will be loaded and distributed. I hope this was helpful.